Hey everybody, it's your old pal Rob. Welcome to another War and Pieces. I think it was last Recon in April of 2019. I was looking for some new rules for some modern warfare stuff that I had, and I started touching it up and everything. Well, I dug it out and I forgot that I never showed you guys the rules or talked about them, and they're really kind of interesting. I think you would be very interested. The name of the book is Skirmish Sangin, and it is from a company called Radio Dishdash Publishing. You can check them out at radiodishdash.com. But the thing that that's really important is that I've been working on this project for a little bit over the last couple of days. Just felt like, after looking at every time I get a War Games Illustrated, I start pulling out all kinds of 28 mil and start touching it up and painting it. So let's take a look at these rules, see some of the figures that we have, and kind of go over it. It's a D100 based system. It's really kind of neat. It's simple, it's easy, and there's a whole bunch that goes to it. So let's go down the table and take a look at this book. All right, let's take a look at this. I'm going to explain a few things. I'm not going to go over all the rules. It'd take us forever to go ahead of it, but the real neat thing about this is there's campaign modes and all the stuff all put into this really neat little book here by Colin, Phillips, and Craig Watterson. Again, published by Radio Dishdash Publishing. You can go check it out. Everything's broken out real nice, full color. They tell you about heavy weapons, critical fumbles. There's actually a chart that you're going to be rolling on. We'll talk about that. Your forces, how do you put them together from novice to average to veteran, elite, and of course the Taliban, how you're going to deal with them. Vehicles, of course, and insurgents, advanced combat rules. There's going to be a bunch of scenarios and some quick reference sheets that we will pull out in the back. I'm going to try to go through it. It gives you a nice introduction, talks about everything that is going on, and a brief history of everything. And we're going to go over that pretty quickly. Playing the game, very simple. Everything is based off a D100. And they give you these beautiful examples of how to do things, okay? What scale, the percentage rolls that you're going to be rolling. So you're going to be figuring out for each kind of thing, should it be spotting and stuff like that. And for instance, we're going to go into how you're going to build your force. You're going to figure out what type of what type of people that you're going to have. Are they going to be novice? Are they going to be veterans, elites, officers, and things like that? And they're going to have certain percentages for their morale, because as they see things, you are going to have to roll morale. And if you have an average guy or a veteran, he's used to seeing certain things, so you have a 75% chance for a veteran to pass that morale. Body, that is going to be the damage that you're going to be able to take. Movement table, which basically tells you if you're crawling, walking, or running, the movement value in inches that you're going to be able to do. And you're going to have a character sheet that you're going to be able to really get your guy jacked up, and you can add skills and stuff like that. Really does a lot of beautiful things, and we'll show you those later on. Again, shows you how you can make your forces right from there. You can pick a whole bunch of average guys, and it shows you how to streamline and what type of weapons and grenades and things like that you're going to need. We're just going to skip forward here. Gives you the turn sequence, how things are going to go, how combat's going to go, your combat round, your combat phases, the action points that you're going to be have depending on the type of player that you're going to play with, whether it's novice or a veteran. You're going to have a hand-to-hand phase. Spotting. Spotting, again, it's a D100 system, so if a target is in soft cover, that's going to be minus to what your spotting ability would be. So you would start off with a spotting ability, and then you would be subtracting percentages due to behind cover, a knight and things like that. Movement plays. If the target's running, you're going to add 30% for that to that, because obviously the trained eye is going to see something moving. So again, all the modifiers for spotting, which is really great because you need to spot things in order to shoot them. How you negotiate buildings, shooting, of course, how that all works. What the different guns are going to do, and the damage that you're going to roll. Most of the time you're going to roll a D10 depending on the weapon that you have. But there are some things, unarmed combat will always roll a D6 before. For the most part, you're going to start with a D10, and depending on the weapon that you're going to have, you're going to be adding D10. For instance, an HMG is going to be 4 D10. Grenades, another thing, there's templates for it. You're going to be rolling to see exactly where it's going to land, of course, and which way, what direction it's going to go, and how many inches it's going to go with your D10. Morale, we spoke about morale already. Hand to hand, again, is ran off depending, it really comes down to how strong your guy is, as far as, is he a veteran, is he elite, does he have body armor, and things like that, and how you're going to go into it. You're going to have certain percentages for being a defender, whether you're average or elite, and the same thing with the attacker. Just beautifully illustrated, as you can see, just done very, very well. Descriptions of how you're going, you know, there's going to be piercing values that are going to come into play. Heavy weapons, how they come into play. Critical fumbles, when things go wrong, listen, you roll a 1, you run a 001, that is a critical. If you roll a 00, guess what? That is going to be a fumble. And you're going to have different things. Maybe you're trying to fire and you roll a 100. Well, guess what? That is going to cause you to roll on the firearm fumble table. Not very cool. Vehicles, there's all types of different vehicles, from Humvees and things, and how penetration works with that. And then basically in the back here, you're going to have your wound tables. You're always going to see if you're conscious after taking a hit, different scenarios that they put together. Recon patrol doesn't need a huge area, really. I have a whole bunch of these buildings, and it just really works out very, very well. And then, of course, your quick reference sheets, which are going to give you everything that you need, from your combat table to your moving table, to your character's decision, shooting, hand-to-hand, movement, spotting, and what happens in the things to increase skills, because you can increase your skills. You're going to have all kinds of different charts here, and then, of course, I mean, look how beautiful these sheets are, that you're going to be building your guys. All right, you're going to be building your guys and trying to get them, you know, to advance and get more skills up through each tour that they're going to go through. And then you're going to be able to print these out. And then I would put them on a heavy cardstock and then cut them out, because all these are going to play. These are the markers, so you know exactly what's going on. And of course, some extra sheets. Now, why don't we take a look at some of the figures, the scale figures that you're going to use for this, and that I really enjoy. So we're going to take a look at that. But as you can see, a very solid, good system. You know, sometimes I always like trying some of these systems out. I love how they make it simple, but deep enough that it really pulls you in. So here you go, Skirmish Sangin, skirmish war game rules for modern Afghanistan. Let's go check out some figures. Now we've got a couple of Humvees here. A Humvee I wanted to show you. This is just perfect for this type of scale. This is a 28 mil scale. A nice 28 mil is perfect for this game. And I've been working on some squads. As you can see, all we did is get some base colors on them for now, and then now we just have to start highlighting. And you don't need a lot of figures. I've got 2 squads here, and of course I try to have some guys in prone position, and you don't need a lot to create a couple of squads. I've always got a couple of bazooka guys that I want to use. Let me just go out here a little bit so we get all these guys in here. And this is basically the forces that I'm going to use. I'll be able to split these up into 2 squadrons, and really that's more than enough for this game to really come through. Taliban, I forgot one more bazooka guy, but we got a ton of Taliban because you really want to have a bunch of these guys, and Baghdad, but yeah, we've got all kinds of different poses with rockets and stuff like that, and that all comes into the play here. So you want to have a bunch of these guys, and again, all this stuff is just based. We're going to be working on this, and we're going to be showing you some how this works in the future. We've got other things that are ahead of it, but I really wanted to share this with you. Now that I've dug this out, I've got a couple of Humvees for each unit, and again, like I said, we just want to get these guys, get their bases done and everything, and get right to it. I think you'll really enjoy what we have for you. Let's send it up top and get my final thoughts. So there you have it. Skirmish Sangin. Really interesting type of rules. Real easy. You know, what you're doing is you know, depending on, like I said, who's elite and stuff like that, and you know, everything goes by that percentage. So you know, what are the chances of this being you know, successful? Well, you have about a 70% chance, and you're rolling trying to get underneath that, and it's as simple as that. It works perfect with 28 mil. I've tried this before and I've really enjoyed it, and you saw some of the models that we showed off to you guys. So check it out. You could go to, again, I want to make sure that we get this right, Radio Dishdash Publishing, radiodishdash.com, and they've got all kinds of different types of rules, really nice simple rule sets. So definitely check it out. Until next time, for another War and Peace, it's your old pal Rob saying, we'll see you soon.